Hello crafters and happy Halloween. I wanted to share with you how I made a kitty cat Halloween garland using these felt cats from the Dollar Tree. They just look like normal felt little cats, and they did not have the holes punched. I used just a normal punch holder. I didn't have to use anything heavy duty to punch a hole in each of the ears. And then I took some jute twine. It can be any old twine. I used green, but it could be the tan stuff. It could be fancy ribbon, but you cover most of it, so I didn't see the point in investing in anything too fancy. As you can see, you cover it all in ribbon. There's a little bit showing for the cat, but most of that's covered. And then you just thread through however many cats, however long you want. I use 9 cats because cats have 9 lives. And I thought that was a good number, and it made it a good length. You can do them however close or far apart you wanted. I did them facing different directions. The felt cats at the Dollar Tree look the same on each side. And then I kind of put them randomly left and right facing. And then when I got them all, I put them all on the string first before I added any ribbon. And I got them where I wanted them spaced. And then I held them in place using some little clips. These are clips from the Dollar Tree, these pink ones. Or, you know, if you're not too concerned about getting them evenly spaced, you don't have to clip them, but they will move around if you don't clip them while you're loading up ribbon, just because you're manipulating it so much. But, I mean, it doesn't need to be clipped. And, well, I'll show you how I did it clipped. But then after you get all your cats on, you take ribbon, and most of the ribbon I used was from the Dollar Tree. Some of it was my stash. I just collected over the years. But a good variety is really good. And sometimes it wasn't necessarily Halloween ribbon. It was just like orange ribbon or just plain purple, and just adding some of that, like plain green, added some color in and made your Halloween themed ribbon go further. But this is like from the Dollar Tree this year. And I did like their Halloween ribbon. A lot of it had this kind of shiny edge, and it's pretty pliable. I wouldn't use too much of the wire ribbon, the really big thick ones, because I think it would kind of be overpowering, but it might work. But I chose to use the smaller stuff, and I used an array of widths. I think the skinniest I used was probably 1/8 inch, and the widest I used was probably this size here, maybe 3/4 inch. And I used about 6-inch lengths, and you could go and cut 6 inches, but that kind of gets tedious. So what I did was take a ribbon, and I just kind of held it in place, wrapped it around. I went around 5 times so I could get 10 sets of 10 clippings. And then after I went around enough times, you just kind of take it off. This does not need to be exact. And then you just took the scissors and you snipped it here. And then, I'll just show you, snipped it there. And snip it there. And then you end up with a bunch of lengths of ribbon. Then you're going to go and move this one out of the way that's done. You're going to go to and I did a whole bunch of them at once, a whole bunch of different kinds, and I would just have them all clipped together, and I would just stay with one design and kind of go through and put them all on, and then come back to a different design. But you just take it, put it on there, and I did just one overhand simple knot. Well, it was simple until I turned push the record button, like this, cinch it down. And don't worry about it. I made sure most of my ends were at an angle. I just thought that looked better than straight across, but it's, you know, your preference. And then you end up put a whole bunch on there. I used the tulle that was from the Dollar Tree. I really like the look of this with some of the thicker ribbons. And for the tulle, that I did cut individually. I couldn't really use a ruler for that. But I mean, you could just cut it. It's all zigzag and uneven, and the widths are all different, but basically I just took widths of about inch and a half, depending on this could be wider because it's just so flexible. And tie that on also, same kind of knot. And then, you know, you can slide them on, and I did do them in random orders instead of the same over and over again, just to make it look better. And then, you know, as you can see, it'll just start to grow and look like this. And I think the more variety you have, the better. It's a great way of using up just like, a couple of, just like a yard or, 12 inches you might have left on a roll. You can just throw it on here. Plain black ribbon looks good on this. This buffalo check I thought looked good. I have black polka dot. I mean, some of this stuff is not necessarily Halloween. This is, but that is not. Buffalo check is not, but it totally works on this. And I think the more you have, the better. And then that was pretty much all I did. And at the very end of the jute, I tied a knot, a little loop, so I could hang it up on my hooks I have over my doorway. And it looks great over a mantle too. And it is just really fun. It's super easy. You can, besides all the glitter everywhere, it's not really that hard. It did have a lot of glitter after this because of the tool, but with the glitter stuff. But I mean, it was a lot of fun. And I just wanted to share it with you because it's a super easy thing to do. You could probably do this with the wood shapes from the Dollar Tree, any sort of, I bet they have pumpkins or ghosts. You could cut your own felt things out of here. You could do a variety of simple felt images you could get off the internet. So anyway, a happy Halloween, you guys. Bye. Hi, I just wanted to show you what the garland looked like hung up on the mantle. It was a lot of fun to make and super easy to do. All from ribbon and felt cats from the Dollar Tree and some extra ribbon I just had in my stash. So happy Halloween, happy crafting.